So our painting today is called Frosty at Nighttime. The paints that I'll be using is medium yellow, phthalo green, ultramarine blue, crimson red, phthalo blue, black, white, orange, and gray. The brushes that I'll be using today is a number 3 round, a 1-inch flat, and a 5/8 angle brush, and a pencil. Canvas we'll be using is a 12 by 12, stretch, primed, and ready to go. Let's get painting. Okay, I've got my pencil, and I'm going to come up about 2 inches, make me a mark, and come over again. And if it's not perfect, that's fine, but then I'm just going to kind of sketch it. Okay, so that just gives me an idea where my bottom's going to be and where my top's going to be. I'm trying a new thing. One of my viewers, because I have problems with this here, is scratchy, and it's hard to get the paint off of. Recommended using one of these silicone mats, so I bought me one, and I'm going to try to see how this works as far as when it dries, because sometimes I don't work fast enough with the paint if it peels off easy. So I'll let you know. Okay, I have phthalo blue, which is really like a navy blue, and then I have ultramarine blue, which is more of a lighter blue, and then I have white on my canvas, my palette. And I'm just going to pick up the blues, and I'm going to come out here and just start putting paint on. I may go with one color, and then I may come in with another color, just as long as we get these colors down. And I'm using a 3/4 flat. Now if I go over that line a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything, because I'm going to paint over there anyway, so we'll just see what we got. I'm going to grab a little water with that, because it's make it a little smoother going on. Alright, I'm going to grab some white with it this time and start coming in with some white in here. And if I get it too dark, I can just, when it dries, I can come back in there with some white. Going to pick up some white now, because I have plenty of blue on my brush. And I'm going up and down with my strokes, because I want this to be my sky. just going to start picking up a little more of the blue with it this time, just to try to get it to blend in. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to see how much of the canvas. There's going to be other things on here, but I want to see how much of the canvas did not get covered. Alright, I just came around and done the edges on my canvas. So what I'm going to do is, because I still have blue on it, I'm just going to pick up white, and I'm going to come across this way this time. And just laying some blue down for my snow. We're going to come back with some white after it dries, but so at this point, blend that in a little bit more if I can. Might bring a little more white in here, and that's okay. I really need to let it dry before I do anything else to it, because it's just hard to hold it. So, yep. At this point, I'm just going to let this dry. So I've got this dry. Wet my brush and just wipe it off on my paper towel a little bit. And then I'm just going to grab some white and just start coming in here with some white in here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of blue with that, just to try. I picked up Ultramarine blue. It's making a little violet, which is fine. I just want more light in here. Just trying to get some light colors down, and then we're going to blend in some more blue again, because I've got some that sometimes it's just hard to get that to cover up like it needs to. I'm just trying to get this white on here. Okay, so now I'm just going to pick up my blues. I have a little water on there. And I'm just going to come in here and put on some more blues and just kind of rub this in. Oops. Let's just grab some of our Phthalo blue, because it's a little darker. And we just got some streaks coming in. I don't want it to be sandwich, but that's what it's looking like. I'm going to fix that because I don't like the sandwich color. But I'm just coming on over here and putting down some more colors. I've got both colors on me, on my paintbrush. And I have them on me as well. But I can cover up these spots that didn't cover up as good. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just putting some streaks in here now. Got a little bit of all three colors on my paintbrush just to try to streak it in there a little bit more because I want a little darker than one that's coming out. Having to keep wetting it a little bit because it's just not wanting to spread. Alright. I've got some, because I've pressed down, so I got some on my hand. And I'm just going up with it. Just bringing in some white now, and it's just blending in with my blue, but that's okay. Just got blue on my paintbrush, the two blues, and it's just blending on my palette. I'm going to bring a little bit more over here, I think, with a little white with the blue. I have all the blues and some white. I think I'm going to pick a little more white right in here. And just blending it in. Okay. Let's pick up some darker right in here. Okay. Again, I'm just going to pick up some of this white and just, I've got a couple spots here that the paint come off my hand onto the paint on the palette, on the canvas. My brain gets to not going as fast as my mouth sometimes. So there's no telling what's going to come out. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. Okay, what I did is I took some of my Ultramarine blue, my Phthalo blue, some gray, and some white, and I come up with a blue here. So I'm going to wet my brush and just kind of wipe it off. And then I'm going to load my brush up on both sides. And then I'm going to make some trees, hopefully. So we're just going to come in with some winter-looking trees. Doesn't have to be a lot of detail to it because these are just in the background. You can make them any kind of size. They can be short, they can be fat, they can be crooked. The woods are all full of all kinds of trees. Because if you look at me, I can't make a straight line, so that's okay, my trees are cooking. And I'm just using some of this blue in the back. I mean in the limbs for my trees. This one's a little more fatter. And there we go. There are trees in the back. So we're going to put a couple more in here. Okay, so I'm going to come right in here. Put me a little one. And it's just, they're a little shade different. That's okay because we're in the woods. It's not got much matter. This one's going to be kind of tall back here. Okay, so let's go in here with another one. I'm just keeping having to mix some paints up, so it doesn't really matter to me about if they're blending in really good as far as the same colors. Just filling some in. This is a fatter one. And that's okay, because he's going to get covered up some anyway. Maybe. Maybe not, who knows. Sometimes when we're painting, we just never know what's going to come out. I'm liking my background. Okay, I decided to come back with this color that I've got, and I'm just going to put a few little to make it look like little trees in the background that you can't really, they're out of focus. That's kind of just what I'm basically doing there, is just putting out of focus trees. You can't see them in the back too good. And so now we've got some out of focus stuff going on in there. So here's my snowman. I took a 2-inch, it's about 2 inches in diameter, and I drawed my circle. And then I just come around, as you can see, with the chalk. I filled it in completely. I've wiped it off. I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So I've just kind of brought in the body here and over here, and then a circle for his head. And I'm going to paint that in white. I keep cutting my camera off. I'm sorry, y'all. I am putting down my first coat of white paint. Oh, I need to. Having problems videotaping and painting today. I just can't remember to keep videotaping. I'm putting down the first coat. I'm trying to go over my chalk lines because but if I don't get over them, and I'm doing pretty good, so I'm okay with that. If not, because I am using yellow chalk, it makes my white want to not be quite so white in some spots. So I'm going to let it dry. And if I miss some spots with the yellow, I'll go ahead and take it off. I wish I had used white chalk, but I need to get some. Because as you can tell, I've got some yellowing there. So it may not be perfectly in line, that's okay. It's a snowman. When you build a snowman, he might not always be perfectly lined up. I've washed and dried my angle brush. I'm going to dip it in my water just a little bit, wipe it on my towel. Actually, I may put a little bit, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit of this black on my paintbrush. And I'm going to come along right in here. I'm going to come down probably 3/4 of an inch and just make me a line. I have a number 3 round brush, and I'm going to grab the black, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to come under just a little bit and go around. And I might make that bigger. I might end up making this a little bit bigger too. There we go. And that's our bottom. And it looks crooked. There. Straighter for y'all. I'm going to use my brush. It's a little wet. It's damp. It's not real wet. And I'm going to come in here and come across right here. And I'm going to come across right here. And then I'm coming up here. And then we're just going to make us a little ball on top. And then we can make us a little fancy doodad. It can come up with it. Now I'm going to go so lightly right in here. And so lightly right in here. And then we'll come down and down. Now I've got to try to close that in. If I have to redo it, that's fine. I'm going to start right here and go over. And I think I might be got too wet. Let's see if I can do the same thing. I just made a little C. So I'm going to see if I can make another little C. And then we're going to bring it down to looking like a S. And this will be backwards. It's off a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just putting me a dot here to make that. Try to be as fancy as I can get. I'm actually going to bring this up down a little bit more right in here. Just trying to make it a little more fancier. We can actually make it a little bigger. And if I get it too out of whack, we can always bring in snow. Snow will cover a lot of this up. Alright, I'm coming back in here with some white with my angle brush, and I'm giving myself another coat of white paint. Okay, so I've got my second coat on. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start, I'm going to use my angle brush and I'm going to bring up my snow. I'm just taking my brush and just tapping it. And I've got a good bit of snow on here. And I'm just kind of tapping this around because I want to make this like a little hill here. And then we can just kind of, don't have to kill everything, all the blue underneath. That's not really what I want to do. I just wanted it thick in here because that is a dark color underneath it. So I'm just going to, at this point, just kind of rub it on. And if I need to go over with another coat, I'll do that. Like I said, I'm not trying to kill all the blue. We can actually come up a little bit along in here. Sorry about that. And again, I'm just tapping on some blue, tapping on some snow in here. Almost looks like a pond with it right now. Okay, so I'm going to try to come around here. Just tapping that. It doesn't have to be smooth because it's in the woods. Okay, so at this point I'm going to come around here and tap some snow in here all around the edges. And I got rid of all that black. That's okay. It's fine. I can always come back and touch that up if I decide that, you know, I want to do something different there. Okay. Now I just want to let that dry to see if I, how I like it. Actually going to bring this up a little bit more so I can look like more of a heel right in here. I'm just tapping some on in here. Okay. I'm actually going to work on this before I do anything else to that. And of course we got our snowman to go. And I just want to make sure I have enough snow on there for him. Because if I don't, I'm going to put some more snow on there for him. And I have plenty of paint on my paintbrush, and I'm just tapping it in spots because, like I said, I don't want to get rid of all the blue, but I don't want it to look mainly like a lot of blue. I want some of it to come through, and that's what it looks like it's doing. All right. Okay, I like that. Now, I will tell you, my black in here will probably get messed up, and that's okay. I'm not really worried about it. But I'm using my number 3 liner brush again, and I'm going to mix some medium yellow and some white, and try to make a light yellow color. And that's where I'm going to just come in here and I said, if messing that up, that's okay, because I'm going to come back to it. And this has got to have a another coat on it. Now what I'm going to do is I've got paint on my brush. I'm going to wipe it off. And I'm going to try to come around in here and just kind of get me some light going around in here. Very little paint on my paintbrush. I'll just come over here. And I'm just like I said, very little paint on my paintbrush. If you wanted to mix it with water, you could do that. I haven't done that. I'm just letting it pull out the light here. And I could grab a little white with this if I wanted to, and just tone it down a little bit more. And like I said, I'm coming over my black, so I'm going to probably come back in there with some more black and redo that. So I'm just picking up yellow and white and just giving myself some light there. And I got a little bit more paint on there than I want, so got to rub. I think I have a little bit more on that side than I do this side, so I'm just going to kind of bring it in here and rub it in. I don't want to get in that snow. Okay, so we're going to bring in some more of this here and come over this again. Probably need to cover that up with white first. I wasn't thinking. Let's get some white in here. Even though I have white mixed with it, it's just too hard. It's see-through. And then we just grab a little bit of yellow and come in here with this. Just some white, and I'm going to come back down in here a little bit more. Got a little too yellowy there. Come up to here a little bit if we need to. And again, yeah, I'm going to be fixing all that. Sometimes it's just easier to put it up there and then repaint it. I'm coming back up with this with some white because it's gotten a little bit too yellow for me in there. I may have it a little bit too blocky. It looks like a block. I'm going to grab some more of that yellow and a white. More white than I am yellow at this point. Okay, and I'm just coming back in here. Yeah, I like that. And we can actually take it out a little bit if we want to. Make it a little bit bigger if we want. Because I've got to go over it anyway, so. This is really thick down here, so it's going to have to do some more drying. What I'm going to do is grab my angle brush at this point, and I'm going to just dab the tip of it into some white paint and see what I can get here. I want to do a little star, and I'm just going to pull it down a little bit if I can. If I can't, I'm said a star, but I'm just trying to make some little snowflakes, and I don't really like the way that one's turning out. There we go. It looks like a little star, but it's going to be can you see it? It's going to be a snowflake. I think I may have to go for a different, yeah, that one's, let me grab the round one, number 3, and come in and just make us some little snow, because we're going to have a little snow. We're going to have other little dots in here too. But some of our snowflakes are going to just show. So that's the start of the snow. Let's see. Let's do one right on. We can come in here with this one again. Make him a little more defined. We'll put one over here. Let's see. I'm not fancy on making fancy snowflakes, but we're going to add some of these other ones. I'm going to grab my I've got my number 3 liner brown brush. And I've wet it just a little bit, and I'm going to grab some more black. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I want to define that a little bit more in there. And then we're going to come back around here and fix these babies, I hope. We're going to bring our post back down. And then I'm going to come around with my C and finish my S off. Of course, I got to give them a little circle in there. And then same thing here. Just finish with my C and fix my S. And we can bring snow back in there. Okay, now I did work on this. I actually like a round one. So we may make this more round than triangle-y. There's our little fanciness. So let's bring one across here. I'm trying to make this go at a little slant, and then that way, there we go. We've got our light post. I'm just going to take one of my paints. It's probably maybe an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, somewhere along in there. I'm just going to come in here, try to line that up. I want to go underneath my little fancy things there. And I know it's going to be hard for y'all to see it. I'm not using that yellow chalk with this. Okay, so I just have a circle there. I just got just a tiny little bit of phthalo green. And I'm going to use my round brush. And I'm just going to start kind of, may be hard to see on here. I may have to mix it with a little black. Still may be a little too dark to see. And I'm just kind of putting me some on. I'm just picking up black and phthalo green, and I'm just putting some little leaves on here, limbs. I'm actually just kind of dabbing it, is what I'm kind of dabbing my, because we're going to come back with some lighter colors. But I just got to get my foot in there to see what colors I'm going with. I'm just following that circle is what I'm doing. I'm just using phthalo green and black, and I'm just coming in and dabbing. And I'm going in different directions. Some is going down, some's going out, some's going to the right, some's going to the left. And if I want it bushier, just make those little branches go out more. And I think I do want it a little more bushier. I took my phthalo green and I added some white and some black to it, and I think that's still too. I'm just putting in a little here and there. Just again, I'm just dabbing it. The more colors I get on here, the better I like it. So. Going back over what we just went and just dabbing. Okay, now I'm going to add a little more white to that color this time. That's going to make it a lot lighter. Okay, so at this time we're just coming in and just kind of doing the leaves every kind of way. Just filling it in. And if you don't like this color, you can always use any kind of green you want to, just as long as you add, you want to get it darker, and then you can keep adding light to it. I actually like the color, so. Just kind of pushing down and tapping it with it. That's really what I'm doing, is just tapping. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more white to that, what I just did, and see if I can make it a little lighter. We're not killing the color underneath, we're just making layers. This is a little bit lighter, and I'm just dabbing it. And you see I'm not doing it very much. Okay. And I might go back in a few places. Now, I'm going to take it one more step, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter with it and see what I get. Okay, and then that didn't make too big a difference, but that's okay. I'm just adding a little bit here and there. If you want yours a brighter green, you could do a brighter green. Okay, I'm going to dip my round brush into just the white, and I'm going to come right in here and give it a little circle right there, just to make it look like the light bulb in there. I'm going to grab a little bit of black with a little bit of white, make a little gray, because I need a little light fixture or something for that to come up in. I'm going to use my round brush. I've got some black. I've got it wet a little bit. I'm going to kind of thin my black out just a little bit because I want it to run a little bit, but I don't want to go crazy with it. And I'm just rolling it in black very carefully. I'm going to add some arms to him, so I'm just going to bring him some just put him some little limbs on there. And that's that's one arm. And then we'll come over here. And we'll give him a little one right along there. There. I'll bring this one out just a little bit more. And there. And then we'll bring that one. So, there's his arms. I'm picking up some black, and I'm going to give him some buttons down the front. I think 3 would be good. And if I want them a little bit bigger, I can just go in there and make them a little bit bigger. Okay. Alright, I've got a lot of things going on here that needs to dry. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to play some music and I'm going to do some snow. I'm going to bring, as you've seen, I brought a little snow and put around in here and up here. And I'm going to bring a little snow, put some right along in here. There we go. Just to bring a little bit of that. Okay, so I'm going to bring some and put on his arms. And we're just going to put a little bit, let's see. Let's just pick some spots. Right in here would be good. I don't want to put snow everywhere. I just want to put in a few little spots. Looks like I need a little bit more right in there. Okay. And then we'll do this side. We'll put a little bit right in here. Okay. So there is his arms. Grab a little bit of white here on my brush, and I'm going to start doing a little bit of highlights on some of this. As you can see, I'm just going at one side. Just a little bit of highlight. And I'm going to do the same thing for our snowman. I'm just going to give him a little highlight. Everything don't have to be touched, but just give it a little light. Oops, I think about got him too much there. I have some crimson red here. I'm going to use just a little bit of that with my number 3 liner brush, and I'm going to just dab it in like I did the snow drop flakes. I'm just going to put some little red dots in here to make it look Christmassy. Right now I'm just bringing in this color. I like the red on it. So now what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of that red and a little bit of white and mix that to make a little lighter color. And then I'm just going to come in on some of those and just touch over them. I don't want all of them to be touched over, just some of them. Or I can just add that color too in places if I want to, you know, fill in some spots. That's okay. Just leave some of the darker ones there. Perfectly okay with that. Some of these, it's really tiny. I'm just going back in there, and I have both colors on my paintbrush, and so I can just touch it. Because the red is going to dry darker, so I don't mind if I go in there with some of this lighter color. I'm going to grab some of that black again because I'm not too happy right here. I'm still not happy right here. I want that filled. There we go. And I know I did some highlights on that, but I just wanted it a little more defined right there. I'm going to come in with my number 3 round, and I'm going to start coming in here and covering up his hat. He's dry. It's just his hat's not. Okay, now I did this at a little angle here so that make it not be quite so straight. And I brought that up. Okay, I have to come out a little bit more with that. And then I think we'll come up right here. I'll come over here a little bit more with its hat. There we go. Just make this a little more fine if I want to. Oops. Well, it grew a little bit. That's okay. Okay, let's go ahead and give him some eyes because he's got to have black eyes, right? Eyes made out of coal. And then we'll go ahead and do his smile. We'll give him a smile. Orange has a habit of being where you can see through it. So what I'm going to do, what I did is I've added a little bit of black and a little bit of white to my orange, so it won't be quite so orangey. And I'm going to come right along in here, and I'm just going to curve that a little bit, and then I'm just going to bring this to a point. And there is my carrot. Alright, I'm going to grab my red. I'm going to put a little water with my red because I want to get it a little more where I can run like ink. I'm using my number 3 liner, and I'm just going to come right under here, and I'm going to draw me a circle, and that's really too thin, see-through. So I'm going to add a little black to it and a little white. That's a base, a base for it because it's a little more brown than. That's okay. And there we go. I've drawn me a scarf around here. I came around his neck and I've come down just a little bit. I've come above his button and then I've came over this side. So the best thing to do is just to paint it and show it to you. I'm using my red with the dark color that I made with the. Actually, I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. It's more like a burgundy because it was a black and white with red. And that's okay. And I'm just going to come around here and line him out. Now also what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully, if I can, bring this across this black. Because I'm going to put him a little flower up there, but I want to get some color up there on that. So, and we will add more color to it. I'm going to use my liner brush. I'm going to try to grab some white, and I'm going to put some little dabs on some of these little flowers. I'm going to come right up here first before I forget that, because I want to give that little highlight. Just a few little dabs on some of those red ones, just to make them have a little highlight. Okay, I've got the red and the white together, and I'm just putting me another bow on there. I'm not putting another bow, I'm covering that bow back up. It's not wanting to. There we go. I'm going to use that same color and come back over his hat. It's almost pink, but that's okay. It's because his color is really, should have probably went with red instead of crimson. Okay, so let's go back in here. And I'm not really filling in all that. I'm just coming in some strokes with it. Just kind of filling in with it. No, right there, it just... And I'm going to do the same thing with this bow. I'm going to bring some more darker in so it'll have some different colors in it. I added a little more red to that pink and that I had, and it was red and white. And I had a lot more white, so I added a little red to it, and that's what I'm working with right now, just putting some different colors in here. I'm going to grab a little white here I don't want much white. I just want a little bit. Just trying to give it a little bit of highlight. I'm going to grab my yellow here and my white, and because I need to make it, or it won't be so see-throughy. And I'm going to put me a little flower right here. Let's just go with white and just see about replacing some of that. Okay. It's a big flower. Now, I have white on my brush, so what I'm going to do is just come up here and put a little bit of snow on his hat. And I'm not going to put, I think I got yellow snow. I'll fix it if I have to. There we go. And that's all we're going to do to his hat. Like my brush off, I'm going to come back in and pick up some of that red and white that I had made. I'm not really liking this, so I want to cover over that a little bit. There we go. And there. Just give me some pink. Grab some of that same color and just come back up here a little bit. I really do like my color of the bow. I might not like the style of the bow, but I like my color of the bow. Okay. I've got a clean brush. I've got just a little bit of white. I'm going to put a little dot in the, I don't know if I like that for the button, but I do like that for the white, for the eyes. And I'm going to give a little highlight on top of this, the carrot. That's all I'm doing, is giving a little highlight. Same thing on my scarf. And I've got a little highlight up here I need to do. Okay. Okay, I made me some brown, and what I did is I just took my orange, a little bit of black, and a little bit of white. That made me a brown. And so I'm just going to grab that on my brush, and I'm going to come right in the middle of my flower. I have some of that phthalo green and white. I'm just going to come in here, and I'm going to put a little leaf right there, and a little one right there. I'm going to use some of this dark blue, a little water to it, and I'm just going to come over to this corner right here and just sign my name. And that is that. Alright, I got to looking at my snowman, and this just something wasn't right about him. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of blue and a little bit of white, and I'm wiping my brush off. And I'm just going to come in here and put some blue highlights on him. So I have a little blue on him. So, you know, he'll be a little bluer. If that's too much, I can add a little white to it. Gives him a little more character about him. So this concludes my nighttime Frosty. I hope you will pick up a paintbrush and get to painting. Y'all take care and God bless. So what did I tell you? I did use a silicone mat and I really did like it. It was a whole lot easier cleaning it than it was this thing here. And as you can tell, there's no stains on it because I used just a little soap and it come clean. So thank you, LL Jean, for suggesting that.